Hey, everybody. Jennifer Lee Chan here. The 49ers had more bad news on Monday. Kyle Shanahan just got off a conference call with us, and he said that Javon Hargrave tore his tricep muscle and he will likely be out for the rest of the season. Now, that is not great news for the defensive front that has not done a great job at getting at the quarterback. But Kyle Shanahan did say that he thought Javon Hargrave was having his best game of the season in week 3 against the Los Angeles Rams, thought he was making an impact on the game, getting after the quarterback. And he had come back into training camp really healthy, more fit, looked faster. So unfortunate for Javon Hargrave and the 49ers, they lost another player to injured reserves. So it wasn't 100% guaranteed, but they had thought it was a bruise on Sunday night, but now it turns out that the tricep is torn. He will have more tests, of course, and then most likely have surgery. Good news is that they do expect George Kittle to be back at practice this week. So they're hoping to get him back at practice this week. Other than that, nothing great. Kyle Shanahan did confirm that Christian McCaffrey went to Germany to see a specialist. He did not talk about whether it was stem cell stuff or platelet rich treatments, PRP. He did not talk about what it was, but he said Christian McCaffrey was going to Germany to see a specialist to help him with his lingering Achilles injury. So outside of that, D Winters aggravated his ankle injury, so he will be day to day. Brock Purdy dealing with some back soreness after the game and will have an MRI on his back. He didn't sound entirely pessimistic. He kind of said Brock Purdy is dealing with back soreness in his day to day, but he is going to get an MRI. So injuries are piling up for the 49ers. It's not great. It is still not 49ers 2020 kind of type of injury pileup yet, but it is not looking great. But good thing is George Kittle should be back this week at practice. Deebo Samuel will be making his way back. So 2 players are not out for the season. They will be coming back. Kyle Shanahan didn't give an update on Dre Greenlaw. They were expecting him at mid-season, so I don't think we see him until maybe week 8 or week 9. Other than that, not a lot of great news. I also did ask Kyle Shanahan about Jacob Cowing. Is he ready to start getting some offensive reps? I know that there are a lot of you that talked and asked questions about why Ronnie Bell is still in the lineup. He is obviously doing better than Jacob Cowing in practice. And we've talked about it ad nauseum, right? Kyle Shanahan asks a lot of his wide receivers. So when a player is a rookie wide receiver, it's just so rare that they can come in and be an impact player at the beginning. Now, I did talk to Ricky Pearsall in the locker room. This is week 3. Week 4 is next week. He could make an impact on the offense. I think he's a guy who they believe in him. He does routes on air. I think he's been working out. I think he worked out last week. So there is some good news on the wide receiver front. It's not going to be Jacob Cowing right away. I just know from experience talking to Kyle Shanahan that when I asked him about Jacob Cowing, he was like, yeah, he's making his way, but he's not there yet. He's not going to be out on the offense. So, I mean, he didn't say that exactly, but the way he said it, I know that he believes Jacob Cowing is not ready yet. We've seen it before with other rookie wide receivers, rookie players. He won't say that they suck or that they're not ready or they're not doing the work, because that is not true, but they're just not ready to be part of the 49ers offense on the field. So Ricky Pearsall, however, first round draft pick. I know he's been really diligent about his workouts and film room study, all of that. And I know he's kind of been under the wing of Deebo Samuel. And I think those two have, he said that Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk have been helpful with him in getting acclimated to the NFL. So I think Ricky Pearsall could get involved at some point, hopefully after he is, activated. So I think that will help the offense. But again, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel probably coming back, maybe not this week, but at least back at practice. We did not see them at all last week at all. So on the field. So looks like it could be a better week that way. But yes, the 49ers do lose another player to season-ending injured reserve. So now, Christian McCaffrey, we don't know when he's going to come back. It could be, he's eligible to come back week 5, but it could linger on. It could go 7, 8, 9. We're not sure. So, tough, tough one for the 49ers. Also talked to Kyle Shanahan about that play where it's been on social media. I think Brian Baldinger broke it down where Brandon Ayuk ran, it looked like a go route and was deep. Kyle Shanahan explained it as the Rams had a busted coverage. Brandon Ayuk was number 2 in his progressions and Brock Purdy's progression. He was covered at the time. That was when he was in between those 2 defensive backs, right? After the defensive backs busted and broke up, Brandon Ayuk just took off for a go route. Well, by the time Brock Purdy came around to him, he didn't see them, or it wasn't, a position. He wasn't in a position where he could just air it out. So it sounded like Kyle Shanahan did not put that on Brock Purdy. It was situational where Brandon Ayuk was not supposed to be deep like that and just happened to get free and ran, hoping that Brock Purdy would see him and that they could connect on a deep pass. So just not on the same page for the two of them. It was kind of a fluky thing that Brandon Ayuk got open out there. Other things that he brought up, they did try to keep the ball at the end of regulation. It wasn't like they were trying to give the ball back to the Rams. So he said normally they would like to try to do that. He also talked about the secondary, and he talked about the defensive pass interference that they were called on and how that affected the game. So while it wasn't a great game, but I think it was those big chunk yardage situations that were given to the Rams that kept them in the game. Also talked about special teams and how, while it's different mistakes across the board, he really relies on special teams to not make mistakes. So they can't do that. He knows that going forward, but no one's on the hot seat yet. They all need to play better. They all need to coach better. And that's the situation. They're back at practice this week, preparing for the New England Patriots to show up in Santa Clara. That's week 4. We're already at week 4. But yeah, everything else is about status quo. Still haven't heard anything about why Jawan Jennings didn't want to speak to us after the game, but I mean, it's understandable. Ronnie Bell, however, did run out of the locker room, first player out. So we'll see if we see him in the locker room this week. I'm sure he will be asked about, the play, what happened and what was going on, but open locker room resumes on Wednesday. So Tuesday is Players' Day off. They go into the facility today, Monday, to watch film. Tuesday, they get treatment. So there's no availability. Wednesday, practice. All right. So I'll give you more updates as I know them. But as of now, that's what it is. Javon Hargrave out to the season with a torn ACL. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Please subscribe. Leave me some notes in the comments of what you'd like to hear, what you'd like to see. I will be posting interviews from postgame in some of this as well. So on my social media, Jennifer Lee Chan, please follow, tell your friends, subscribe. Tune into 49ers Now. Matt and I will be doing that this week, even though I'm not in California. And we'll be talking to you soon. All right. Thanks.